Sometimes cells need a reset too. I've seen autophagy fasting pop up all over TikTok lately, and I still can't tell you honestly what it is, but I know who can, you guys. Dietitian Meridan Zerner with Cooper Clinic. She is back and she is ready to explain autophagy fasting.
Okay, well, there's this idea of autophagy, and let me just tell you, it's so complex. This is microbiology, pharmacology, physiology, and so, of course, what I've seen out there, it's a radical oversimplification of this really complex process. It's a natural process that our cells go through. Think of it as a cellular cleanup. When our cells, get sort of old, they note something is broken or defective, they kind of run around and eat this piece and recycle it so the cells regenerate stronger and healthier.
Got it.
Okay, this happens all day long in our cells.
Right.
Very normal. I think about a little recycling guy, like just sort of cruising around your cell, checking in on your mitochondria, your organelles, and like tidying things up. Normal, natural. Now, there are some things that make this process harder on us. First of all, we're aging.
Yes, how does this change with age?
Yeah, nothing works better as we age, apparently, right? But what can we do to kind of foster that? So we know that if you're not exercising, if you're sedentary, it makes this process much harder.
Right.
We know that if you're eating frequently, like constant grazing, and that's what these sort of processed foods will inspire us to do, like we just keep eating another chip and another chip. And just a lot of, a lot of sugar and that kind of thing. Of course. So overeating and constant eating really challenges our autophagy. And then not having the opportunity to give, in essence, the body time to process, rest, and repair.
Okay, I get that. I understand that. I'm sorry. The cheetah was there. It was speaking to me. I had to. Okay, now tell me, what lifestyle habits can interfere as well with autophagy fasting? Is there anything else that goes into it as far as that?
Well, again, it's very complex. When people have chronic disease states, they're constantly inflamed. Again, everything is a little bit harder. I think the more interesting conversation is how do we flip that script?
Yes.
What can we do that inspires this autophagy, that really supports the cell doing the job it's designed to do naturally? You don't have to do anything crazy. Now, you do have to move your body.
Okay.
So they've been able to show, hey, the 30 minutes of aerobics, of course we're Cooper aerobics, right? But of exercise, of movement, whether it's weight training or cardio, inspires autophagy, like drastically increases this amazing system. When you can do more of the higher quality, colorful, healthy foods, like the proteins and the veggies, but then also have a stopping point where you maybe stop eating at 7 and don't start again until 7 a.m.
Okay, like intermittent fasting.
This is a version of intermittent fasting that absolutely will support optimal health and autophagy.
Interesting. And you know what? It helps so much as far as with your schedule when it comes to eating. I don't know if that plays a big part in as far as this autophagy situation, but making sure that you're giving your body food not right before you go to bed, and, stuff like that. And so would a keto diet help in this situation, or dieting in general? Does that help?
Yeah, so subtle calorie restriction, subtle, inspires autophagy. And yes, a keto diet does. However, I want to be clear about this. So a keto diet is really, really high fat, speck of protein, very, very low carb. And you're in ketosis, you're creating ketones. Keep in mind that's wildly inappropriate for a lot of groups. So seniors, pregnant women, adolescents, those with diabetes, those with other chronic conditions. And so now, for whom is this going to be appropriate?
Right, it's a very small percentage.
As a dietitian, I'm also like, well, how are we going to get the fiber in? We still have to think about cancer and other aspects of health. So it's not our first go-to, right? Cooper Clinic is really going to be advocating for the healthier diet, but also, again, having that period of time when you're not eating that aligns with our hormones and the sunlight, our circadian rhythm. So not eating after 7 as just an example would be something to strive for.
Okay, got it. It almost gives your cells a little bit of time to bop around and do their thing while you're at rest. Now tell me, what about, because people love the sauna, they love acupuncture, any other way that they can kind of bop around? How do you feel about that?
And it's kind of like, how do we stress the system in a good way to inspire a response? There's some research on the sauna, and it's quite specific to work your way up to this 15 to 20 minutes 175 degrees. Again, it's not appropriate for everybody. Be well hydrated.
Right.
There's some studies on acupuncture kind of driving a little bit of that response through the muscle. So these are just things to think about, and of course to check in with your medical, your practitioner. You know, you may have some specific guidance that's right for you.
Got it, got it. Okay, tell me at what point, because I know you mentioned a bunch of different categories of people who probably couldn't dabble in the keto situation, but when does this fasting situation become harmful? When should we put a on it?
There will be a crossover point, so this is definitely not like, oh, if some is good, more is better.
Yeah.
This is where your cleaning crew could become a demolition team.
Right.
Right, so if you're in chronic fasting and in chronic radical calorie deficit, this absolutely sort of interferes with this process, and we actually see it contributing to ALS and Parkinson's.
Wow.
We see lots of other issues where this is extreme. So we're not interested in extreme.
Right.
This is a normal, natural process. Move your body, have some healthy foods, and have a food cutoff. All of that is all you need.
Work it into your lifestyle without overdoing it. I think that makes sense, and I think everybody can do that. We were just talking about resolutions today. Maybe this is the one for you. Tell me, where can people find you if they want to learn more about this, or if they have other questions about their health?
Yes, CooperAerobics.com.
There we go, Meridan. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you.